Class 11 Biology Chapter 4 Plant Kingdom Part 1 When you look around, you will observe different animals with different structure and forms, as over 1,000,000 species of animals have been described till now. The need for classification becomes all the more important. The classification also helps in assigning a systematic position to newly described species. The classification is helpful to differentiate animal kingdoms into different species. 4.1 Basis of classification. In spite of difference in structure and form of different animals, there are fundamental features common to various individuals in relation to the arrangement of cells, body symmetry, nature of coelom, patterns of digestive, circulatory or reproductive system. These features are used as the basis of animal classification and some of them are discussed here. 4.1.1 Levels of organization. Though all members of Animalia are multicellular, all of them do not exhibit the same pattern of organization of cells. For example, in sponges, the cells are arranged as loose cell aggregates. That is, they exhibit cellular level of organization. Some division of labor occur among the cells. In coelentrates, the arrangement of cell is more complex. Here, the cells performing the same function are arranged into tissues. Hence is called tissue level of organization. A still higher level of organization, that is organ level, is exhibited by members of Platyhelminthes and other higher phyla where tissues are grouped together to form organs, each specialized for a particular function. In animals like annelids, arthropods, mollusks, echinoderms, and chordates, organs have associated to form functional system, each system concerned with a specific physiological function. This pattern is called organ system level of organization. Organ system in different group of animals exhibit various pattern of complexities. For example, the digestive system in Platyhelminthes has only a single opening to the outside of the body that serves as both mouth and anus and hence called incomplete. A complete digestive system has two openings, mouth and anus respectively. Similarly, the circulatory system may be of two types. First, open type, in which the blood is pumped out of the heart and the cells and tissues are directly bathed in it. And second, closed type, in which blood is circulated through a series of vessels of varying diameters, arteries, veins and capillaries. 4.1.2 Symmetry. Animals can be categorized on the basis of their symmetry. Sponges are mostly asymmetrical, that is, any plane that passes through the center does not divide them into equal halves. When any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two identical halves, it is called radial symmetry. Coelentrates, ctenophores, and echinoderms have this kind of body plan. Animals like annelids and arthropods, etc., where the body can be divided into identical left and right halves in only one plane, exhibit bilateral symmetry. 4.1.3 Diploblastic and triploblastic organization. Animals in which the cells are arranged into embryonic layers, an external ectoderm and an internal endoderm, are called diploblastic animals. For example, coelentrates. An undifferentiated layer, mesoglia, is present in between the ectoderm and the endoderm. These animals in which the developing embryo has a third germinal layer, mesoderm, in between the ectoderm and endoderm are called triploblastic animals. 4.1.4 Coelom. Presence or absence of a cavity between the body wall and the gut wall is very important in classification. The body cavity, which is lined by mesoderm, is called coelom. Animals possessing coelom are called coelomates. For example, annelids, mollusks, arthropods, echinoderms, hemichordates, and chordates. In some animals, the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. Instead, the mesoderm is present as scattered pouches in between the ectoderm and endoderm. Such a body cavity is called pseudocoelom, and the animals possessing them are called pseudocoelomates. For example, Aschelminthes. The animals in which the body cavity is absent are called acoelomates. For example, Platyhelminthes. 4.1.5 Segmentation. In some animals, the body is externally and internally divided into segments with a serial repetition of at least some organs. For example, in earthworm, the body shows this is known as metamerism. 4.1.6 Notochord. Notochord is mesodermally derived rod-like structure formed on the dorsal side during embryonic development in some animals. Animals with notochord are called chordates, and those animals which do not form this structure are called non-chordates. For example, Porifera to echinoderms. 4.2 Classification. The broad classification of Animalia based on common fundamental features are explained in the preceding sections. The important characteristic features of the different phyla are described. Phylum Porifera. Members of this phylum are commonly known as sponges. They are generally marine and mostly asymmetrical animals. These are primitive multicellular animals and have cellular level of organization. Sponges have water transport or canal system. Water enters through minute pore ostia in the body into a central cavity. Sponges seal from where it goes out through the osculum. This pathway of water transport is helpful in food gathering, respiratory exchange, and removal of waste. Conocytes or collar cells line in the spongocoel and the canals. Digestion is intracellular. The body is supported by a skeleton made of spicules or spongine fibers. Sexes are not separate. Hermaphrodite, that is, eggs and sperms, are produced by the same individual. Fertilization is internal and development is indirect, having a larval stage which is morphologically distinct from the adult. Examples: Cycon, Spongilla, and Euspongia. 4.2.2 Phylum Coelentrata, Cnidaria. These are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile or free-swimming, radially symmetrical animals. The name Cnidaria is derived from the nidoblast or nidocytes, which contain the stinging capsules or nematocytes present on the tentacles and the body. Nidoblasts are used for anchorage, defense, and for the capture of prey. They have a central gastrovascular cavity with a single opening mouth on hypostome. Cnidarians exhibit tissue level of organization and are diploblastic. Digestion is extracellular and intracellular. Some of the cnidarians, for example corals, have exoskeleton composed of calcium carbonate. Cnidarians exhibit two basic body forms called polyps and medusa. The former is a sessile and cylindrical form like hydra, adamsia, etc., whereas the latter is umbrella-shaped and free-swimming like Aurelia or jellyfish. Those cnidarians which exist in both forms exhibit alternation of generation, that is, polyps medusae asexually and medusae forms the polyps sexually. Examples: Physalia, Adamsia, Peninsula, Gorgonia, and Mindrena. 4.2.3 Phylum Cnitophora. Cnitophores, commonly known as sea walnuts or comb jellies, are exclusively marine, radially symmetrical, diploblastic organism with tissue level of organization. The body bears 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates, which help in locomotion. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Bioluminescence is the property of a living organism to emit light, is well marked in cnitophores. Sexes are not separate. Reproduction takes place only by sexual means. Fertilization is external with indirect development. Example: Philobranchia and Tinoplana. 4.2.4 Phylum Platyhelminthes. They have dorsoventrally flattened body, hence are called flatworms. These are mostly endoparasites found in animals including human beings. Flatworms are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and acoelomate animals with organ level of organization. Hooks and suckers are present in the parasitic forms. Some of them absorb nutrients from the host directly through their body surface. Specialized cells called flame cells help in osmoregulation and excretion. Sexes are not separate. Fertilization is internal and development is through many larval stage. Some members like planaria possess high regeneration capacity. Examples: Tania fasciola. 4.2.5 Phylum Aschelminthes. The body of the Aschelminthes is circular in cross-section, hence the name roundworms. They may be free-living, aquatic, and terrestrial or parasitic in plants and animals. Roundworms have organ level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and pseudocoelomate animals. Alimentary canal is complete with a well-developed muscular pharynx. An excretory tube removes body waste from the body cavity through the excretory pores. Sexes are separate, dioecious, that is, males and females are distinct. Often females are longer than males. Fertilization is internal and development may be direct. The young ones resemble the adult, or indirect. Example: Ascaris roundworm, Wucheria filaria worm, and Cyclostoma hookworm. 4.2.6 Phylum Annelida. They may be aquatic or terrestrial, free-living, and sometimes parasitic. They exhibit organ system level of body organization and bilateral symmetry. They are triploblastic, metamerically segmented, and coelomate animals. Their body surface is distinctly marked out into segments or metamers, and hence the phylum name Annelida. They possess longitudinal and circular muscles which help in locomotion. Aquatic annelids like Nereis possess lateral appendages, parapodia, which helps in swimming. A closed circulatory system is present. Nephridia help in osmoregulation and excretion. Neural system consists of paired ganglia connected by lateral nerves to a double ventral nerve cord. Nereis, an aquatic form, is dioecious, but earthworms and leeches are monoecious. Reproduction is sexual. Examples: Nereis, Peritima, and Hirundria. 4.2.7 Phylum Arthropoda. This is the largest phylum of Animalia, which includes insects. Over two-thirds of all named species on the earth are arthropods. They have organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, segmented and coelomate animals. The body of arthropods is covered by chitinous exoskeleton. The body consists of head, thorax, and abdomen. They have jointed appendages. Organs of respiration are gills, book gills, book lungs, or tracheal system. Circulatory system is of open type. Sensory organs like antenna, eyes, compound and symbol, statocyst or balance organs are present. Excretion takes place through Malpighian tubules. They are mostly dioecious. Fertilization is usually internal. They are mostly oviparous. Development may be direct or indirect. Examples: economically important insects: apis honeybee, bombyx silkworm, lacifer lac insect. Vectors: Anopheles, Culex, and Aedes mosquitoes. Gregarious pest: Locusta, living fossil, Lumulus. 4.2.8 Phylum Mollusca. This is the second largest animal phylum. Mollusks are terrestrial or aquatic having an organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and coelomate animals. Body is covered by a calcareous cell and is unsegmented with a distinct head, muscular foot, and visceral hump. A soft and spongy layer of skin forms a mantle over the visceral hump. The space between the hump and the mantle is called the mantle cavity, in which feather-like gills are present. They have respiratory and excretory functions. The anterior head region has sensory tentacles. The mouth contains a file-like rasping organ for feeding called predula. They are usually dioecious and oviparous with indirect development. Example: Pila, apple snail, Pincatata pearl oyster, Sepia cuttlefish, Loligo squid, Octopus devilfish, Aplysia sea hare, Dentalium tuskshell, and Chaetopleura chaton. 4.2.9 Phylum Echinodermata. These animals have an endoskeleton of calcareous ossicles and hence the name Echinodermata. Spiny-bodied, are all are marine with organ system level of organization. The adult echinoderms are radially symmetrical, but larval are bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic and coelomate animals. Digestive system is complete with mouth on the lower ventral side and anus on the upper dorsal side. The most distinctive feature of echinoderms is the presence of water vascular system, which helps in locomotion, capture, and transport of food and respiration. An excretory system is absent. Sexes are separate, reproduction is sexual, fertilization is usually external, development is indirect and free swimming with free swimming larvae. Examples: Asteriasis, starfish, Echinus, sea urchin, Antedon, sea lily, Cucumaria, sea cucumber, and Ophiora, brittle star. 4.2.10 Phylum Hemichordata. Hemichordata was earlier considered as a subphylum under phylum Chordata, but now it is placed as a separate phylum under Non-Chordata. This phylum consists of a small group of worm-like marine animals with organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and coelomate animals. The body is cylindrical and is composed of an anterior proboscis, a collar, and a long trunk. Circulatory system is of open type. Respiration takes place through gills. Excretory organ is proboscis gland. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. Development is indirect. 4.2.11 Phylum Chordata. Animals belong to phylum Chordata are fundamentally characterized by the presence of a notochord, a dorsal hollow nerve cord, and a paired pharyngeal gill slits. These are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomate with organ system level of organization. They possess a post-anal tail and a closed circulatory system. Phylum Chordata is divided into three subphyla: Urochordata or Tunicata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Subphyla Urochordata and Cephalochordata are often referred to as protochordates and are exclusively marine. In Urochordata, notochord is present only in larval tail, while in Cephalochordata, it extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout their life. Examples: Urochordata, Eschidia, Salpa, Doliolome, Cephalochordata, Branchiostoma. The members of subphylum Vertebrata possess notochord during the embryonic period. The notochord is replaced by cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Thus, all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Besides the basic chordate characters, vertebrates have a ventral muscular heart with 2, 3, or 4 chambers, kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation, and pair appendages which may be fins or limbs. 4.2.11.1 Class Cyclostomata. All living organisms of the class Cyclostomata are ectoparasites on some fishes. They have an elongated body bearing 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration. Cyclostomes have a sucking and circular mouth without jaws. Their body is devoid of scales and paired fins. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. Circulation is of closed type. Cyclostomes are marine but migrate for spawning to fresh water. After spawning, within a few days they die. The larvae after metamorphosis return to the ocean. Example: Petromyzon lamprey and myxine hagfish. 4.2.11.2 Class Chondrichthyes. They are marine animals with streamlined body and have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Mouth is located ventrally. Notochord is persistent throughout life. Gill slits are separate and without operculum. The skin is tough, containing minute palcoid scales. Teeth are modified placoid scales which are backwardly directed. Their jaws are very powerful. These animals are predaceous. Due to the absence of air bladder, they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. Heart is two-chambered. Some of them have electric organs, for example torpedo, and some possess poison sting, for example trigon. They are cold-blooded animals, that is, they lack the capacity to regulate their body temperatures. Sexes are separate. In males, pelvic fins are bare claspers. They have internal fertilization and many of them are viviparous. Examples: Coleodon, dogfish; Pristis, shawfish; Carcharodon, great white shark; Trigon, stingray. 4.2.11.3 Class Osteichthyes. It includes both marine and freshwater fishes with bony endoskeleton. Their body is streamlined. Mouth is mostly terminal. They have four pairs of gills which are covered by an operculum on each side. Skin is covered with cycloid ctenoid scales. Air bladder is present which regulates buoyancy. Heart is two-chambered. They are cold-blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is usually external. They are mostly oviparous and development is direct. Examples: marine, exocutus; hippocampus; freshwater, labio; catla; clarius; aquarium; betta; petrophyllum. 4.2.11.4 Class Amphibia. As the name indicates, amphibians can live in aquatic as well as terrestrial habitats. Most of them have two pairs of limbs. Body is divisible into head and trunk. Tail may be present in some. The amphibian skin is mostly moist, without scales. The eyes have eyelids. A tympanum represents the ear. Alimentary canal, urinary, and cloaca which opens to the exterior is common chambers. Respiration is by gills, lungs and through skin. The heart is three-chambered. These are cold-blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. They are oviparous and development is indirect. Example: bufo, toad; rana, frog; hyla, tree frog; salamandra, salamander; Ichthyophis, limbless amphibia. 4.2.11.5 Class Reptilia. The class name refers to their creeping or crawling mode of locomotion. They are mostly terrestrial animals and their body is covered by dry and cornified skin, epidermal scales or scutes. They do not have an external ear. Limbs, when present, are two pairs. Tympanum represents ear. Heart is usually three-chambered, but four-chambered in crocodiles. Reptiles are poikilothams. Snakes and lizards shed their scale as skin cast. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are oviparous and development is direct. Example: Kilone, turtle; Testudo, tortoise; chameleon tree lizard, calotes garden lizard, crocodilus crocodile, alligator, hemidactylus wall lizard, poisonous snake, naja cobra, Bangarus vipera. 4.2.11.6 Class Aves. The characteristic features of aves birds are the presence of feathers, and most of them can fly except flyless birds, for example, ostrich. They possess beak. The forelimbs are modified into wings. The hind limbs generally have scales and are modified for walking, swimming, or clasping the tree branches. Skin is dry without glands except the oil gland at the base of the tail. Endoskeleton is fully ossified, bony, and the long bones are hollow with air cavities, pneumatic. The digestive tract of birds has additional chambers, the crop and gizzard. Heart is completely four-chambered. They are warm-blooded homeothermous animals, that is, they are able to maintain a constant body temperature. Respiration is by lungs. Air sacs connected to lungs supplement respiration. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are oviparous and development is direct. Examples: Corvus crow, Columba pigeon, Pistaluca parrot, Struthio ostrich, Pavo peacock, Abdentotis penguin, Neophron vulture. 4.2.11.7 Class Mammalia. They are found in a variety of habitats: polar ice caps, deserts, mountains, forest, grassland, and dark caves. Some of them have adapted to fly or live in water. The most unique mammalian characteristic is the presence of milk-producing glands, mammary glands, by which the young ones are nourished. They have two pairs of limbs adapted for walking, running, climbing, burrowing, swimming, or flying. The skin of mammal is unique in possessing hair. External ears are pinnae or are present. Different types of teeth are present in the jaw. Heart is four-chambered. They are homeothermous. Respiration is by lungs. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are viviparous with few exceptions and development is direct. Examples: oviparous, Ornitholynx, viviparous, Macropus kangaroo, Pitoparous flying fox, Camelus camel, Macaca monkey, Rattus rat, Canis dog, Felis cat, Alphas elephant, Equus horse, Delphinus common delphine, common dolphin, Balenotrapa blue whale, Panthera tigris tiger, Panthera leo lion. Summary: the basic fundamental features such as level of organization, symmetry, cell organization, coelom, segmentation, notochord, etc., have enabled us to broadly classify the animal kingdom. Besides the fundamental features, there are many other distinctive characteristics which are specific for each phyla or class. Porifera includes multicellular animals which exhibit cellular level of organization and have characteristic flagellated conocytes. The coelentrates have tentacles and bear cnidoblasts. They are mostly aquatic, sessile, or free-floating. The cnidophores are marine animals with comb plates. The platyhelminthes have flat body and exhibit bilateral symmetry. The parasitic forms show distinct suckers and hooks. Aschelminthes are pseudocoelomids and include parasitic as well as non-parasitic roundworms. Annelids are metamerically segmented animals with a true coelom. The arthropods are the most abundant group of animals, characterized by the presence of jointed appendages. The mollusks have soft body surrounded by an external calcareous shell. The body is covered with an external skeleton made of chitin. The gynoderms possess a spiny skin. Their most distinctive feature is the presence of water vascular system. The hemichordates are a small group of worm-like marine animals. The hemichordates have a cylindrical body with proboscis, collar, and trunk. Phylum Chordata includes animals which possess a notochord either throughout or during early embryonic life. Other common features observed in the chordates are dorsal hollow nerve cord and paired pharyngeal gill slits. Some of the vertebrates do not possess jaw agnatha, whereas most of them possess jaw gnathostomata. Agnatha is represented by the class Cyclostomata. They are the most primitive chordates and are ectoparasites on fishes. Gnathostomata has two superclasses, Pisces and Tetrapoda. Classes Chondrocytes and Osteocytes bear fins for locomotion and are grouped under Pisces. The amphibia, reptilia, aves, and mammalia have two pairs of limbs and are thus grouped under Tetrapoda. The amphibians have adapted to live both on land and water. Reptiles are characterized by the presence of dry and cornified skin. Limbs are absent in snakes. Fishes, amphibians, and reptiles are poikilothyrmous. Aves are warm-blooded animals with feathers on their bodies and forelimbs modified into wings for flying. Hind limbs are adapted for walking, swimming, perching, or clasping. The unique feature of mammal are the presence of mammary glands and hairs on the skin. They commonly exhibit viviparity.